Boom, everybody, welcome to the Realtors Visibility Bootcamp. I'm excited to be doing this today. Today, we're going to be learning in this bootcamp. This bootcamp is a 3 days bootcamp, and we're going to be learning how to stop trying to convince buyers and how to start selling, actually, right? So we're basically going to be learning in general in these 3 days of the Realtors Visibility Bootcamp how to stop trying to convince buyers, how to stop pursuing buyers, how to stop, hustling your way through real estate sales and actually start selling. That is the goal of this bootcamp. If you're excited, you're here, you're excited. Let me see in the comment section, show you're excited. You just type if hashtag life and your first name. Let me know you are watching already. So this is a 3 days visibility bootcamp for realtors, real estate agents, and of course, business owners as well. Because the lessons you're going to be learning, you can literally apply it to every other part of your business. Today is day one. And today, we're going to be understanding the real problem. Why do realtors not sell? Like, why are you not able to sell? Beautiful Owen. Owen, it's good to have you here, Mr. Owen. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, my Oga. My Oga is here. Uncle Sonny, it's good to have you here, sir. Thank you so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Day two, we're going to be learning the visibility system, right? That's what we're going to be learning in day two. So we're going to be putting the visibility system together. What are the things we need to put in place in order to become visible as possible so that we can make sales? And then on the day three, we're going to be discussing how to now turn that visibility into real sales, into actual plenty of commission. That's what we're going to be learning in these 3 days. It is the Realtors Visibility Bootcamp. And the goal at the end of this training, at the end of this period, is to help you stop trying to convince buyers, right? And start selling. Like, how do you how do you go from pursuing people and they get to ghost you, ignore you? How do you go from there to the point where you literally attract buyers and actually make sales? That is what we're going to be discussing. And for today, we're going to go deep down into understanding the invisible realtor problem, because a bulk of the problem usually for realtors, why you hustle, why you stress, why it looks like you're stretched and you're not getting as much results as you want, is because you're invisible, right? So we're going to be looking at that invisible realtor problem, and then why most realtors are easy to ignore, right? That is what we're going to be looking at today, right? Why is it so? Why is it to ignore? And of course, most realtors and most real estate consultants are literally being ignored. All right. So welcome again. Welcome, Choma. It's good to have you here. Priscilla, welcome. Adobe is good to have you here. Joel, Mr. Joel, good to have you. Chooks, good to have you. Everybody, welcome, and welcome. Again, I'm going to be taking your questions as we go. Maybe you just leave the questions in the comment section. You're just joining. Please type hashtag live and your first name. Let me know where you're joining from as well. If you are watching the replay, please just type hashtag replay and let me know that you have watched as well as we dive right in. If you can hear me clearly, please type 1 in the comments. If you can see me, type 2. Let me know that we are here and we are going, right? So the truth is, real estate, of course, is a good. Okay, I'll start by saying this. A lot of people have done real estate for some time, right? And they've gotten to that point where it now feels as if it's kind of beginning to feel like maybe real estate is not for you, right? You begin to feel like, oh, maybe I don't have the capacity or the ability, to make money in real estate. Oh, it's people like Jeff them that this thing can work for. It's people like this thing can work for. And we're going to start there tonight, right? The truth is, one of the things that determine your financial success and growth in life, right, is the vehicle you use to build income and cash flow, right? Because a bulk of almost every other aspect or area of your life relies on your economy, on your personal economy, or your financial, ability. Okay. And um, for the most part, real estate has proven over time, like over and over again, to be one of those industries among others that can literally, without prior knowledge, without some, big certification here and there, move you from being financially, stressed to actually becoming financially independent. Okay. And, I said all of this to say that it is not the vehicle, it's not the industry you're in that is the problem. As a matter of fact, you are in the perfect vehicle. Okay, you're in the perfect industry, in my opinion. This is one of the very few industries where you come in and your life can literally change, especially in this part of Africa, right? Especially because we don't have the bottlenecks that some of the Western worlds have, right? So the problem is not, it is not the industry, right? And I want to encourage you, because I think we have to start from there. If your belief in the industry is already down, or if your belief in the vehicle called real estate marketing or real estate is already, dwindling, right? There is a very high chance that whatever I'm going to say to you this evening may not really make sense to you. Okay. Um, if you understand me so far, please put the fire emoji in the comment section. Let me know you understand me so far. So I said all of this to say that real estate is the perfect vehicle, right? And as a matter of fact, I think we live in a time where it has not been sweeter to do real estate, because we now have the internet at our beck and call. We have social media. Internet is not really as expensive as it used to be. Um, Gadgets and devices are now, relatively more available than it used to be, right? However, I also understand that the problem most people have, and the reason why you're beginning to doubt your real estate career, is because getting people to buy is usually the greatest challenge. Am I correct? Type I am correct. You are correct in the comment section if I'm correct, right? Getting people to buy is usually the biggest problem. As a matter of fact, if you're able to get that part sorted, I think every other part can flow, right? And this majorly is because most real estate consultants are very easy to ignore, to be ignored. Now, let me explain to you what I mean. Again, tonight, I want to teach you, I want to give you a power, the powers to be, to, like, you, after this boot camp, you cannot be ignored again. That is the plan, right? Especially if you pay rapt attention to everything I'm going to be sharing with you today, tomorrow, and next. This is a free boot camp. And while I was putting this together, a couple of my team members were saying, "Oh, let's not do this thing free. Let them pay so that they will pay attention." You know how they say, when you pay attention, right? So I'm hoping that as you're paying, I mean, this is not even totally free. It's actually sponsored by a company already, right? So, but I want you to pay rapt attention for the next few minutes, so that because at the end of today, we'll understand the problem. By the end of tomorrow, we'll know how to fix the problem. And by the end of Friday, we'll know how to convert being visible to cash and to money. Now, do you believe that people already want to buy real estate? Right? Do you believe so? Do you also believe that people are already doing their research? As a matter of fact, as me and you speak now like this, as I speak to you, there are some people, cash in hand, They are already doing their research online, looking for people like you, right, that they can buy real estate through. They're looking for the product you have. Do you also believe, right? Do you know that people buy real estate every day? It's important that we understand these things. It's important that we understand that people buying real estate and people wanting to buy real estate is not a problem. All right. The major problem is not that you are not making sales, it's actually that people do not know that you exist. That is where the real issue is. The real issue is visibility. The, the buyers are there, property is there. Do you also believe that there are some realtors that sell more than others? I mean, there are some realtors that have not even finished recovering from a sale. Another sale is hitting them. Do you also know that there are some people that some realtors market to, but they end up buying from someone else? So you do all the work and someone else just takes the reward. Why? Because you're invisible, you're not being seen, you're very easy to ignore. And when buyers cannot see you, they cannot trust you. You see? And when they cannot trust you, they cannot buy from you. Okay? So today, we'll talk majorly about why many realtors work so hard, but they still struggle to attract serious buyers. Of course, um, um, if you're ready to learn, if you're excited about this, then put the fire emojis again in the comments section. I want to see the fire emoji in the comment section. Who is this class for? Who is this class for? Who is this bootcamp for? It's for you if you want to make sense out of your efforts. You have hustled, you have gone out under the sun, you've gone to hit doors, you've gone to knock on doors, you've gone to meet people, right? If you want to make sense out of your efforts, like you want to see results from your effort, then this class is for you. This bootcamp is for you. If you're tired of chasing people up and down, right? If you're tired of, when you think about when you wake up in the morning and you remember that you have to go and market, like you have to go and prospect, you have to go and meet people, your heart will skip, right? How many of you on that I can relate to what I'm saying? You just think about this business, you just get tired, especially if you work in a company, maybe as a sales executive, right? And then you remember that on Monday, now that it's public holiday, today, tomorrow is public holiday, right? And then you're very excited. By Sunday evening, now your heart has dropped. Like, oh my God, you know, then this class is for you. If you're looking for a functional system, you're tired of doing trial and error, sales today, after 6 months, no sales again, then this class is for you, right? This bootcamp is not for you if you have it figured out. Like, you make a lot of sales, you don't have any problem. People, in fact, right now you're talking to like 15 prospects, you've closed like 5, remaining 10, then this class is not really for you. If you have connections, if you have contacts in very high places, like, who to sell to is not a problem for you. Like, you have connect, you know what they call connect. You have Abuja Connect or Lagos Connect, then this class is not for you. All right. So if you know anybody that ought to be in this class, you can just simply send them the link. The link is in the WhatsApp group. You can just copy it from there and send to them. If you have it, if you have your team members, you want all of them to come and learn right now, so that everybody, together each achieves more, right? Then send them that link right now, because we're about to get this ball started. I am Jeff Anozie, and in the last 5 years, I've been able to build a real estate business. I started in Enugu, and then towards the end of 2024, we decided to open another office in Abuja. And between 2025, we actually officially opened our office in August of 2025. Between then and now, we have pulled in some good numbers in sales. You know, they said that a system that works, I mean, how you know you have a functional strategy that works is that you test it in Enugu, it works. You move it to Abuja, it works. You test it in Lagos, it works. You take it to Accra, Ghana, it works. You take it to um, South Africa, it works. You take it anywhere, it works. Then you have is system. Now, it didn't just work for you. You've also applied it, like you have other people, to students and team members as well, that have applied it and it works. Then you have a system. And that is what's giving me the guts, right? And the authority to host a bootcamp like this and share that same system with you. All right. I only hope, in fact, raise your right hands and say two things. First, I promise to use these powers. Say it after me. Say, I promise to use these powers. And also say, I promise not to use it for evil. Right? Because the only thing after this 3 days bootcamp, the only thing that is stopping you from the sales you're looking for, or from the kind of results you want from real estate, it is you, is your action. If you're not willing and able to take action, if your belief system is already bad, that's why I started with, the belief part, right? Do you already believe that real estate can get you the dreams, the kind of dreams you want? Then if you believe it, right, and you're willing to take massive action, trust me, there is nothing stopping you from the kind of results you want. The truth is, all of us that are in real estate now in Nigeria as realtors or real estate consultants, we are yet to scratch it when it comes to the number of people that actually want to buy. And from my experience over the years, a buyer is a buyer, right? A buyer is a buyer. So they'll keep buying. So it doesn't matter how many of you or us that are in the real estate market, we will still make sales. Does this make sense to you? If it makes sense, type "it makes sense" in the comment section as we dive right in, right? So again, I'll take your questions immediately after now. So you can just leave your questions as it comes in the comment section, and I would, do well to answer it as we go. Let's talk about the reality of the real estate market. Like I said, it's profitable. It is very profitable. And because it is profitable and the barrier to entry is pretty low, right? Too many people now do real estate. Okay. Now, the real estate industry is seen. Personally, I do not believe is saturated and crowded. I just think people think it is crowded. Why? Because just like every other industry, it's crowded at the bottom down, right? Most people in real estate, I would say 90% of people do not make constant sales to keep them going, right? They don't make enough sales to even build a business around it. Okay. And that is the problem we're trying to solve this evening. And that's largely because they're invisible. You can't find them, you can't see them, right? Most of them promote the same properties, which is not bad, right? They share the same flyer, they say the same things. Now, that is the problem, right? Everybody shouting land for sale, come and buy before you hear sold. This is a good investment opportunity, limited offer. Everybody shouting, hello, smart investors. How many of you have shouted hello, smart investors today, right? Hello, smart investors. Everybody's saying the same thing. So because the messages look the same, you simply collect that flyer from somewhere and share it. The same thing. You're saying the same thing, right? It's now easy to be ignored. So the buyers treat you the same, right? So the same thing Realtor A is saying is the same thing Realtor B is now saying. So at the end of the day, maybe the buyer has just come from Realtor A's page online, or he has just seen Realtor A in traffic light 1, and then he moves on to traffic light 2. He sees Realtor B, right? And Realtor B is saying the same thing Realtor A just said. Thomas said, "Hello, smart investors." Musa say, I just finished saying it right now. Musa Miriam. Okay, you just finished saying hello, smart investor. Do you understand, right? So now that the message is the same, right? The buyer begins to ignore you because there's nothing new. So when he hears that thing, hello, smart investors, welcome to Light of the World Estate. It is as you can see, that's the next thing they say. Hello, smart investors, welcome to Light of the World Estate. As you can see, that's the next thing they say, right? So there's nothing new. Okay. So buyers begin to ignore you, right? Because of two things. First, you are shouting, you are invisible. You are shouting, but you're invisible, right? You're not being seen, you're not being heard. It is what every other person is saying that you are saying. And so they cannot trust you. They cannot trust you when they cannot see you, right? You first see you, then they can trust you. Okay. Now, here's what happened to me. Amarachi says, is it Philomena Amarachi says, this man has seen me finish. Exactly. Right? So here's what happened to me. 2020, towards the end of 2020, I decided to join real estate, right? As soon as I joined, I reached out to a few of my guys, people that I felt that began real estate around 2018. And a few of them had seen results that they have. Now, at the time, of course, I was based in Enugu at the time, Enugu State, Nigeria. And when I reached out to them and I said, "Oh, I want to join real estate," they sent me WhatsApp group links, of course. How many of you are like that? You started real estate and they just sent you. In fact, they did not even send you to join. They just, put you inside like 15 and half WhatsApp groups. Like you just wake up in the morning and you now see that you're in like 15 WhatsApp groups, right? That's what happened to me. And they just told me that, oh, every morning they'll post things in that group. Just go and copy it and go and post on your status. Copy it, do broadcast to everybody, right? And I think I did that for a few days. I did that for maybe like 4 or 5 days. And then the problem I started having was that anytime somebody, maybe one of my friends or my relative, usually maybe my siblings, right? They see the thing and they just want to help me. You know how they'll just pity you and just say, hey, yeah, let me just ask what this person is selling. Let me just try and encourage him. And they now ask you, you were coming to Roots Enugu. This person knows me very well. Exactly. I used to come to Roots then in Enugu State. Yes, actually. So they will not ask me stuff like, okay, Jeff, this thing now you're selling, okay, tell me more about it. I'll now reach out to the person that posted it. Sir, please tell me more about this. The person will now reach out to like 15 and a half other people. Please tell me, before the answer reach me, the person is tired of waiting. It was very interesting. And so after a while, I saw that, this thing does not work. Like, I started exiting because I just realized that everybody was just recirculating the same thing. Like, they just pick it from one WhatsApp group, put it in another WhatsApp group. Someone will say direct brief or semi-direct brief, urgent, and all the posts usually is urgent, right? So they just say urgent. They just pack it from one WhatsApp group and point another WhatsApp group. Another person will pack from that WhatsApp group and point another WhatsApp group. and they're just circulating the same thing. All right. And of course, after a while, I realized that this thing is not working. Emanuela is laughing, you know. So I started exiting the WhatsApp because at the point you get confused. When you enter the WhatsApp group, you see like almost 500 messages. So sometimes I'll just open and close, you know. So I had to exit some of those groups. Then I tried out the next thing, which was ads. So just like every other person does ads, I saw somebody's ads and then I copied a few of the things and then I began to run ads. So I put it on Facebook, hit go, and then I gathered some money. I had about maybe 150K, something like that, a little above 150K, and I took like 100,000 naira or be the 150. I can't remember the exact. I think I took the entire 150,000, and then I put on the ads. I decided to run for 1 month. This was around, I think, November of 2020, right? And I decided to run for 1 month. And of course, by the end of the 1 month, long story short, by the end of the 1 month, I didn't make a sale. I just had people in my inbox, WhatsApp. Do you know those? There are some very annoying people. You saw somebody's ads and you know that I'm going to pay for you to click on that ad. You now click on it and come to my inbox and then ask me, who am I? Like, who am I? Like, you saw the ad, you clicked on it, and you come to my inbox to ask me who am I? Like crazy stuff, At the end of the month, at the end of that month, I realized that I have wasted my money. Married with 2 kids, no much more money to take care of them. I had to, step back in December of 2020 and look at it again. Of course, the industry is fantastic. The industry is a good industry. I've seen people, how many of you have seen people make good money from real estate? As a matter of fact, people that sincerely, in all honesty, are not. Linda Asogwa said, where are you from? That's the kind of questions that they ask you in the comment section. They'll see your ads, click on it, and come to your inbox to say, where are you from? Wahala. you know So I was saying that, how many of you have seen people that have made good money from real estate and sincerely, genuinely, in all honesty, and not to talk down on them, you're intellectually better than them, right? So the problem is not the industry. The problem is you. Okay, so I had to sit back, relax in December of 2020. I think the whole of the last week of December, and I began to reanalyze and reassess my strategy. And of course, a lot of the things I'll be teaching you these 3 days is the things I understood then. And so from January of 2021, I began to implement it. And by the end of January, I became the top selling realtor in multiple real estate companies at the time in Enugu State, Nigeria, in my state at the time. And of course, I'd gone from just being a realtor to actually building a business around it, employed my first staff, got an office, etc., etc. Now in 2020, so throughout last year, 2020, 2025, I decided to implement the strategy all over again in a new environment. When I came to Abuja, I realized that my clientele, the people that I sell to or I sold to while in Enugu, right, or in the East, they were not, most of them, more than 90% of them were not interested in Abuja. And so I had to start building clientele all over again. I had to start building, a list of prospects all over again, right? And that was when I then realized that. And of course, by the end of 2025, we had done several, I don't want to call figures, right? But we had done a lot of sales. And then realized that, okay, this formula actually works. It works in Enugu, it works here, it works everywhere. And I have people all over in the country that has applied it. I have a guy in Cameroon, I don't even know if he's here. He applied this principle last year. We met last year online. He applied this principle and currently one of the top selling realtors in Cameroon, right? So this principle applies and works everywhere, right? So now, so why do buyers not trust realtors immediately? Let's attack that for a moment. Are you enjoying this? Are you learning anything at all? Do you feel like there's a solution here? Put the fire emoji in the comment section if you feel like that. Of course, as we go right in, um, Owen says, Owen says, I just got that. Who am I? That who am I message this morning in my ad. So painful. I'm telling you, you spend money and run ads, and they'll come to your inbox to say, who are you? Very interesting. So let's look at why buyers do not trust realtors immediately. All right. Why is it so? Now, here's the truth about the matter. The buyer of 2026, right? The buyer of this AI period or the generation is not a dumb buyer anymore. He's not a buyer that doesn't have information. He's not a buyer that cannot look for information. As a matter of fact, someone that can afford something like 10 million naira, between 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, 200 million to buy property is not an idiot. All right? He's not, he has sense. All right? And so before they contact you as a realtor, and it's important that we understand this. It's important that we understand this. Because if you understand it, the way you market will change. Your mindset towards marketing, and that's my goal for tonight. My goal for tonight is to shift your mindset, the way you market. When you wake up in the morning, what you think you were doing that is marketing, you will change it going forward. Because before a buyer contacts you, right, they first try to understand the market. So they go online and search, they watch videos, they research locations, they compare prices. Have you ever wondered why a buyer will call you and now, recently, in this time and age, he now begins to educate you on the property you're selling? He now starts asking you questions about the location and start telling you. I remember a buyer called me, one of my clients, he called me sometime early last month, and then he was now telling me about properties around and the history of a location I'm selling in Abuja here, right? He started telling me the history of the location and even telling me, or almost like the guy literally told me of almost all the developers that were around my own property. What does that tell you? He's doing his research. All right. So by the time they now speak with you, they already know a lot. On the flip side, most realtors or real estate consultants do not do their research, right? I tell my team members all the time that know very well. Even know other developers or other real estate consultants that are within where you sell. Be a little bit more curious about what they are doing. Not for the sake of competing or not for the sake of I don't know. It's just for the sake of knowing. All right. So what this means is that the realtor who knows, to start with, right? To start with, the realtor who knows already stands a higher chance than the realtor that just tries to focus on buying now, pushing your flyers and your videos everywhere. When they ask you simple questions about your city, when they ask you simple questions about properties that are around the one you sell, when they ask you simple history, conversations you do not know, right? And you know that knowing begins to build trust like almost immediately. So the realtor who knows, who teaches, who explains things clearly earns trust faster than others. And this thing I just explained now, right, is the great line that divides the realtors at the bottom from the ones on top, right? You do the ones on top, like, take a little more time to do a bit of research. They go beyond just doing research. They try to teach and explain. And I'm going to explain to you all of this, as we go. So before they find you, you have to be visible first, right? So even if you know, right? Because I think that's where it starts from, you knowing, right? You have to know. You have to know, and you have to be willing to put yourself in a position where you can share, right? But there's also still a problem. The problem is that you have to be found. And that is actually the core problem. The point I'm trying to make here is that most buyers do not trust realtors immediately from the get-go. Why? Because to start with, many realtors don't know anything. And I'm not saying this to bash you. I'm actually saying it for you to learn, for you to know that buyers have gone beyond just thinking about a property. They'll just see a flyer, pick it up, call you, and pay immediately. No, they go and do their research now. They study the city, the environment. All right. And so you ought to start from there. Knowledge. You ought to start from there, right? So after you have known, be also put yourself in a position where you can share it. So you're not just learning to know. You're not just observing to know. You're also learning to share. And by tomorrow, we'll talk about the things you need to know and how you're going to share it. We'll talk about that part tomorrow. But for today, now that we've talked about the knowing and the sharing, the second thing is they need to see you now. I mean, they can't know the thing in your head until they see you, until they know that someone like you exists. Is that not it? All right. So the problem we're trying to do today, the problem we're trying to solve today, is to stop you or ban you from being invisible. That's the thing we're doing today, right? So type in the comment section, I will stop being invisible from today. Type that in the comment section. I will stop being invisible from today. Right? Amazing. Amazing. So now, the biggest mistake realtors have or realtors make, right, in my opinion, amazing, right? The biggest mistake realtors make, in my opinion, is that there is no strategy anywhere. There is no strategy to become visible. We simply just rely on hope. That is why we wake up in the morning and we now decide that morning that, okay, we're going to go towards this side today. If they ask you now, why are you going towards this side? It's okay, maybe because people are passing there very well. Or you decide that morning that, okay, I'm going to share this flyer, or I'm going to go to site and I'm just going to make a video. What is the strategy? What is your goal? So this video now, what is it supposed to help you do? Then what will that thing do next? No strategy at all. We just rely on hope. And that is why the few people that now say hello to you, you want to kill the person we call. A lot of realtors reach out to me and say, sir, I have 5 clients I'm talking to. 2 of them look like they are serious. I am trying to convince them to buy. What can I do? I have done all I need to do. I have shared with them, I've shared the form with them. I've shared this thing with them. What can I do to convince them to buy? And the first thing I tell them is that you cannot convince someone to buy. You can only simply persuade someone to buy according to what he wishes to buy. Conviction means you're trying to make somebody do something based on your own desire. Persuasion means you're trying to make somebody do something based on what the person desires to do. So I'm going to go into that one later. But the point I'm trying to make is that we need to be strategic. There has to be a plan. right? Um, um, like a better plan away from just telling people, please buy this property. It is good. It is very good. Some people even go ahead to say things like, I love it so much. This Kai, seeing this property here now is so sweet. I love it so much. Now that you love it, go and buy it now. Right? You love it, buy it. Right? We need to go beyond that. Right? All that thing is shouting. All that thing is shouting. Next thing now, when you check, no sales. Next thing is promo. Next thing you say, 50% discount to come and buy. You're shouting. It's all noise, online or offline. When you are, struggling without a roadmap, no plan, no direction, you are simply making noise, right? And then when they ask you, why haven't you made sale? You say, I'm trying to convince people. But the truth about the matter is that me and you know that convincing people is hard. A better approach, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to pay attention to this. A better approach is to position yourself. Remember in the beginning, I said that people are already looking for you. People already have money in their hands doing research about how to buy property in Nigeria. Let me ask you a question. Do you know any realtor at all? If you really converse with realtors or real estate consultants, do you know any one of them at all that constantly makes sales every month? Right? Right? Now, what is the difference between them and you? Is that they have a strategy, they have a plan, they have a formula, and most importantly, they are positioning themselves strategically for a sale. We're going to discuss this part more tomorrow. The point of today is that instead of trying to convince buyers, show them useful information. Position yourself as the person that they are looking for that can solve their problems, right? And this is why you call yourself a real estate consultant. You consult, you advise, you do not convince. Type it in the comment section. Say, I consult, I advise, I do not convince. I know that a lot of people will come for me. A lot of people will not, take this lightly. A lot of people will say, if I don't convince them to buy, how will they buy? I know. My goal today is to just disrupt your mind a bit. Is to just shift your mind from thinking about you're thinking about sales the wrong way. That is my plan today, is to take your eyes away from looking at sales as, okay, I need to convince this guy to buy, to, okay, I need to position myself as the person, as the authority, so that people can come to me and advise them where to buy and what to buy. That is what you call yourself, right? Real estate consultants. Absolutely. I consult, I advise, I do not convince. Okay? Let me show you some examples. Okay? Even though we'll talk more on this tomorrow. So some examples of the type of things you should do or tell clients, whether you're telling clients through a video you're making or you are telling clients one-on-one. Let me show you why this location is growing. Instead of saying, come and buy, this place is very good. No, move from that, come and buy, this place is good. There's no reason there. You're just shouting, you're just making noise. Move from there to saying things like, so this location now, here are the reasons why this location favors you. Do you understand? Can you see the difference, right? If you walk into a luxury goods shop or a high-end car stand, the salesperson usually will walk up to you and ask you a few questions. Sir, how may I help you? What are you really looking for? What occasion is it that you're buying this car for? Or who are you buying the car for? Is that not the kind of questions they first ask you? Right? You, on the other hand, you're selling as if you're selling jeans, like they now sell jeans in the market. 10 kobo, like that is how you sound. When you say all those, come and buy, what's the difference? You see what I'm saying? You can also say things like, sir, let me explain to you why investors are interested in this place. Rather than saying, sir, they're all buying, it is almost finished. Come on, different conversation, different mindset, different positioning. And that is my goal for you today. Say things around, these are 5 ways to avoid being scammed in Abuja real estate. Or there is news or information about something, you lend your voice from an intelligent standpoint. And that's why I said that the first problem and the first line of demarcation between the realtors that do well and others is knowledge. Most people in the bottom, they have little or no sense when it comes to the industry. They have little or no information, little or no research when it comes to the industry. And so they just make noise. It just sound like all those, market people running up and down everywhere hawking. You see them on the traffic lights or in places, and they don't say one word. All they do is to carry that flyer and hand over to you. Or you see them online, they don't say any intellectual or intelligent anything. They just throw out on you, come and buy, come and buy, come and buy every time, every day. And you're wondering why you're not making sales. This is the reason. All right. The reason is the difference between attention and authority. Someone type attention versus authority. There are 2 different things. Most real estate consultants and realtors are just seeking attention. All you want is likes and views. I'm not saying these things are wrong. After all, you need to, attract attention before people can see that you're an authority. However, you're doing it the wrong way. Why? Because you don't have a strategy. All right? That is the point I'm trying to say. Strategy. You just want likes. And that's why you see that most realtors, real estate consultants, right? And I see that a lot around here. All they're interested in morning to night is to make skits. So you see skit videos. These things are not wrong. There are different types of content. There is lead generation content, and that's fine. So if your lead generation content strategy is to create, interesting, skit-like kind of content, that is fine. But if your whole strategy is just views and likes, all you're looking for is one viral post, that's all you're looking for, then you are sincerely attracting the wrong crowd. You're just seeking attention. You're not building authority. You see that? So all your strategy is just viral post, one viral post. That is all your strategy. And the interesting thing is that you forget that the noise on that viral post are usually people that cannot, more than 95% of them that are on that post cannot afford what you sell. Attention is good, don't get me wrong. It usually leads to a sale. And it also shows that you have something that is going on. But attention is not the same as trust. Buyers trust authority more. That is why you that is seeking attention, when they find you and see a property with you, they will take it, they'll screenshot it and send it to the realtor that they think has authority. How many of you know what I'm saying? Type in the comment section, say I know. If a buyer has screenshotted a post from someone before, he'll screenshot it from the person and send it to you, that you should check if you should buy this land. It happens to me a lot. And when I check the handle of the person they screenshotted it from, you probably have more followers than me. You probably have more views than me. But they'll screenshot it from you and send it to me. The point I'm trying to make is the difference between attention and authority. Attention is random posts, skits up and down, dancing around, you know, posting random things. You copy from here and post there. That is attention. Authority is when you look through your content, your content, your positioning, your demeanor, right? It is market insights, it's location explanation. You're not just talking about come and buy, it's very good, it's very close to the road, 5 minutes to the airport. Everything is 5 minutes to the airport for a realtor, right? But you're talking about location insights, you're talking about investment education, right? You're talking about the difference between volatile investments versus non-volatile investments. You're explaining in a video, in a content, the difference between a long-term investment and a short-term investment, right? Things like that. When you teach people about the market, they begin to see you as someone who understands real estate. And the truth is, most times they're not even using that information for anything. They just know that they have marked your page, they have saved your posts. When they are ready to buy, guess who they will call? It is you. And as we wrap up for tonight, let's look at why many realtors remain invisible. Of course, I've explained the bulk of it, but here is the thing. Number one, they lack a clear visibility strategy. If I ask you now, what is your strategy to be visible in the marketplace? What is your strategy to not only get attention, but also build authority in the marketplace? Usually, there is none. Usually, I've asked a lot of realtors before that come complaining about sales, and I sit you down and I ask, usually their only strategy is to open a page, put like 70K on the page and run ads. It's not even proper running ad, it's boost post. And when I ask them, what is the goal around this ad? What is the goal around this funnel? When I say goal, I'm asking of things like, okay, you know that it's not everybody that will see this thing that will buy. What is your lead generation goal? What is your leads nurturing goal? And what is your leads conversion goal? And this thing I just said now is the lifeline of a buyer. It goes from seeing you, it now moves to them trying to understand you and believe you, then build trust, then they now buy from you. That is leads attraction. That's leads. Leads is a potential buyer, right? So attracting the leads, nurturing the leads. So you attract them, they see you. Maybe they see one of your skits, they like you, they like your page. They now go to your page to go and watch more. There has to be a strategy that when somebody lands on your page, you can now nurture them. So you're moving from the comedy kind of content, for instance, or BTS kind of content to a nurturing content. The nurturing content is now saying that, hey, I don't just make you laugh, I'm also an authority. Then you now move them from the nurturing content to conversion. Conversion is now where you tell them to pay money. There has to be a clear strategy to move people from point A to point B to point C. So the ads, the money in itself that you put on Meta or you dash to Mac, right, to get people to see you is not enough. It is even the phase two. The phase two is the ads. The phase one of your strategy is ensuring that people go from knowing you to liking you to trusting you. So there is usually no clear-cut strategy. That's the number one reason why a lot of realtors remain invisible. All right? There is no plan as well to answer the questions buyers are searching for. No plan. No plan. Right? Am I sharing value? Are you enjoying this class? Am I shouting? Am I being too harsh? Right? Am I shouting? Are you enjoying this class? So without a system, okay, your marketing is random. Random marketing rarely builds authority. Okay? And that is the problem. That is the crux of the matter. That's the crux of the matter. All right? So, that is basically the size of our content tonight. I do not want to overload us. It's already 1 hour already. And that is the crux of our content for tonight. So as you go through the replay of tonight's class, or as you watch the replay, please, I would advise you watch the replay, right? I want you to have a few things at the back of your mind. First, many realtors work really hard. You sweat, you go from door to door, office to office, you go from one post, one DM to another, but you rarely make sales. Why? Because you're invisible, and that is it, right? And today, the goal is to help you stop trying to pursue people, convince them, and all of those things, to actually trying to make sales. And before we go, I want to introduce to you something I've been working on for a while now. It is my second book, and it's going to be launching very soon. It is called You're Easy to Ignore. You're Easy to Ignore, right? I'm going to take your questions soon, but I just want to introduce this to you. This is the first time I'm introducing this in public. You're Easy to Ignore. It is my new book. The goal of the book is to help realtors to move from shouting to selling. So how realtors sell effectively by not shouting. That's basically the content of the book. And if you go to www.jeffanozie.com/offer, right there, jeffanozie.com/offer, you can you can pre-order the book. The book will be launched very soon by the 11th of April, 2026, but the pre-order has started already. So if you go to www.jeffanozie.com, a bulk of the things I've been sharing tonight and will share tomorrow and next tomorrow is already captured in this book. You Are Easy to Ignore. The subtitle is How Realtors Like You, make sales, constant, continuous, proper sales by through strategy and not shouting. Okay. How realtors win sales by standing out and not shouting. That's basically the subtitle of the book. And everything I've just captured right now is in that book. Now, if you order the book, if you're doing the pre-order right now, you get the complete kits. There are other kits, the visibility kits, right, which you can start going through before the book is launched or before we get the book to your hands by the 11th of April. So just go to www.jeffanozie.com/offer and then lock down your offer. It is the book and the other kits, the bonus for this pre-sale period is only 20,000 naira right now. By the time the book is launched, it becomes 25,000 by the 11th of April. So you want to order this book right now because everything I've just explained, is detailed in the book. So simply go to www.jeffanozie.com/offer to lock in your slots right now. So www.jeffanozie.com/offer. So with this, we've come to the end of tonight. I'll be happy to take your questions. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me right now. I hope I earn the value of your time. This is 1 hour of conversation. And again, today we are simply just understanding the problem, right? Why realtors don't make sales as much as possible. Number two, why how to stop. So my goal at the end of these 3 days is to help you stop trying to convince people, pursue people up and down, and begin to make sales. Okay, begin to make active, continuous, rapid sales over and over again. And for tonight, we simply just, looked at, the problem, the invisibility problem, like how realtors are invisible and why you are easy to ignore. All right. I hope you got value. What what did you what hit home most for you? I'd like to know in the comment section, what about today hit home most for you? And or if you have any question, real estate by Javal said he has a question. Kindly ask. I'm happy to take a question for the next 5 minutes. I will go through your questions. The KLTN strategy is a perfect strategy. No like trust. What is N? What is N? I don't know the N in the K. I know KLT means no like and trust. So what is N in the KLTN strategy? All right. My question. Please, if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section now. Beautiful, beautiful. My question, please, what type of visibility are you talking about for the realtor? Is it physical visibility on site locations, visibility on clients, engagement, etc.? Please explain. Visibility means, so, when you want to start a business, what do? You maybe open a shop. If it's a physical product business, if you want to start a phones business, you want to start selling phones or laptops or a mic. Let me use this mic for instance. So you want to start selling mic. What do? There are two ways to go about it, especially in this present age and time. The first way to go about it is to go and open a shop, Abby, rent a shop, open it, load it with stuff, put a signboard, Abby. Put a signboard, say the signboard name is Mr. Kenneth Mike Shop or Phone Shop, right? Now, a question for you. Where will you usually go and set up a shop? Will you set it up in a village where nobody passes? Or will you go and set it up in a market like Alaba International Market now, where you know that plenty people come to? Where would you likely go and set it up? Please, anybody that has an answer, please let me know. Where will you likely go and set it up? Right? We're asking, my mentor is here, Mrs. Barrister, Mrs. Uzamaka Ivy. It's good to have you here, ma'am. Good to have you here. Okay, so where will you go and set it up? Right. Of course, you would rather go and set it up in Alaba International Market, Abi. Why? Because you want people to see the shop. Foot traffic, of course, Mr. Safe Property said the market where the foot traffic is passing. Why? So that they can see you. They can know that you exist. Is that not it? So that is the visibility I'm talking about. Now, I said there are two options you have, Abi. The first is to open a shop. The second is what? To go online. Put it online. Why? Why are you going online? Because there are eyeballs. At least there are over, say, 4 million, 4 billion people on the internet now in the world, right? And over 200 million Nigerians currently, 200 and something million Nigerians, Abi. So at least maybe over 50 or 100 million Nigerians actually use the internet now. So does it make sense? Have I been able to answer you? Visibility means that the buyers, the people, the reason you started real estate is that people will buy from you, Abi. And in case you don't know, in case anybody here does not know, more than 90% of your sales will come from people that don't know you yet. All right? The remaining 10% may likely come from people that know you, but the 90% will come from people that don't know you. So how do you get the people that don't know you to know you? That is what visibility means. Visibility means that you will have to position yourself in such a way that people that don't know you know you. For some people, they do it physically. So they go to a traffic light or they go to areas, to the streets where they feel like people pass a lot, Abi. then they'll stand there with their multiple flyers to share to people. That is them trying to get people to know them. Is that not it? Right? And then other people, they go online or they take some money, put it on Facebook or Instagram and run what we call paid advertising. That is visibility. So they are trying to be visible. The point of all of this is for enough people to see you. I hope I was able to answer your question, sir. Real Estate by Javal said, the learning and teaching strategy for clients to know, like, trust, and need you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So the N there means need, right? Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right. Any other question? Will you say that's a perfect strategy for someone who is new to real estate sector as a consultant? Which strategy? That is the education, right? Educational strategy. I'm not sure I understand your question. If you can kindly ask your question well. The learning and teaching strategy to engage buyers to know, like, and trust and need you. Would you say that's a perfect strategy for someone who is new to real estate as a consultant? Okay, I think I understand your question now. You're asking if the KLTN strategy is good for someone that is new in real estate, right? I guess that's what you're asking. So one of the things that there are two ways to go about it when you're new. The first is you already have results. So you have built the confidence to have results, or you already have a clientele, or you have contacts. So if you already have contacts, you have results, then it's not a big deal for you. You don't have to do the KLNT, right? But in my opinion, rather than chase people, because the truth is, when you're new, it is a little bit harder because first, you lack the confidence, the requisite confidence to close that amount of sales. Like, for instance, if you're selling a 100 million naira house now, right, and you're new, first of all, your confidence alone will not be optimal. Who knows what I'm talking about, except you've done this over and over again. So what I usually suggest is that build authority. Build authority. And that's why all of you here should go and follow Barrister Mrs. Uzamaka Ivy. She teaches a lot on her channel, on her platforms, right? Please go and follow her on Facebook. She shares a lot of real estate insights, especially the legal part of it, with her years of knowledge. So what I suggest is, when you learn those things now, you put them in your words and share, teach, share. Don't share as a lawyer will. Just share as a consultant trying to share information, right? When you share information, clients see you as an authority. They see you as the person that can help them achieve their goals. You see? So what that does for you as a new realtor is that it separates you from the crowd. What is the crowd doing? The crowd is simply shouting, come and buy, come and buy, come and buy. That is what the crowd is shouting. But you, right, you stand out. Okay? If you do this long enough, you do it for a period of time, sincerely, even without shouting, come and buy, I can almost bet you that people will come into your inbox to ask you about a property. Okay, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. We'll talk about it a little more tomorrow. But I hope I was able to answer your question. All right. Again, this is the 3 days bootcamp, visibility bootcamp. It's a 3 days visibility bootcamp. Thursday, that's today, tomorrow, and next. The goal is to share with you how to go from being invisible to become visible, so that you can stop pursuing clients, stop pursuing clients and try to convincing clients, to become that person that attracts buyers and close deals frequently and constantly. And of course, if you're just joining us, I said that my book, You Are Easy to Ignore, is on pre-sale. Is on pre-sale right now. And if you go to www.jeffanozie.com/offer, you'll be able to lock down a copy. Now, during this pre-sale is 20K, but from the 11th of April, it becomes 25K, right? So you can go to www.jeffanozie.com/offer to, book down your copy. Beautiful. Another question, please, sir. I have this prospect who I have been following up since November. We met at a physical exhibition just last month. We were supposed to have been engaged in an inspection, but what? But he's not coming. Why? Why is he not coming? Because he's not even a prospect like you think. One of the things I teach in this book, are the three things, or the three levels, or three things to look out for in a person before you can term the person a prospect. There are three stages, right, that you can qualify a person with. And there are questions you can ask someone for you to know. There are like 5 questions in my book, right? You're easy to ignore. There are 5 questions in that book that you can ask someone upon meeting the person for you to determine if this person is serious or not. And there are 3 things that I will see and I will know that you're ready to buy. The first is that you must be ready. Ready simply means that you already know about real estate. You know the need for real estate, and so your knowledge, you have learned, right, about real estate. Number 2 is that you are able. Ability means that you have cash, so you're cash ready. All right, you're cash ready. And then number 3 is that you're willing. So some people are knowledgeable. They know about it. They know about the need for it. They know the need to invest. They know that real estate, they know the use of real estate, right? Whether for personal use or for, income, maybe cash flow or capital gain. They understand that. That is the first part. They also have the money, but they are not willing to put that money right now in real estate. They would rather use that money to buy a brand new BYD or a brand new Tesla car and use it. And sincerely, you as a realtor, you must come to the point where you have to be absolutely okay with it. Because until a prospect meets these 3 criteria, ready, willing, and able, he's not going to buy. If you like, see the problem I have with most prospects is that they lie a lot. Some of them will just lead you on. They'll tell you that, oh, I'm going to buy, but deep down within them, 2 things: either they are ready and willing, but they are not able. The money is not yet there now. This is where nurturing comes in. Remember, I said that one of the things in your strategy box or toolkit is nurturing content. You must have nurturing content. So if you have lead generation content, the ones that attract people to you, you must have nurturing content, because not everybody that comes to you that will buy immediately. All right. Then you will have conversion content. You see? Now, they must meet these 3 criteria: ready, able, and willing. That's RAW, right? RAW. Someone type RAW in the comment section. They must meet these 3 criteria. I dissolved this, place in a full chapter in my book. You're easy to ignore. Just go to jeffanozie.com/offer to get it. But for your question, the network king, sincerely, that person you call a prospect, if I'm you, I will leave him. I will leave him for now, put him in a nurture loop where he just sees my content every time, right? And he's there. Many people cannot come out and tell you straight that they don't have money or they don't trust you, because sometimes he doesn't trust you. If he probably goes to search for you online, he's not seeing things that can make him want to buy from you. He's seeing flyers that every other person is sharing on your timeline, right? Or maybe he's not seeing content that positions you as an authority. And so maybe after speaking with you in the event where you met him, you told him your name. He went to go and search for you. And the things he's seeing are not encouraging. He doesn't see up to, say, 20 content of you as an authority, sharing insight, either market insight or sharing knowledge on how not to be scammed, or sharing location insights. Okay, location analysis. Here are the reasons why this location is good for you as an investor. You're not sharing any of those things. All you're sharing is come and buy, come and buy. He will not be able to tell you that he cannot buy from you. You see, that's the problem. That is the problem. These are the issues. So he can be able, ability, he can be willing, but he's not ready, especially with you. These are some of the issues, right? But once you're able to check the boxes at your end, you're not just attracting attention, you're also an authority, like you're building authority in the industry. All right. And then the prospect on the other end is ready, able, and willing. The sale is easy, super easy, super easy. And that is also why, as a realtor, one of the things you must not lack is constant inflow of leads. All right. But he would rather choose his work over the number of times I've booked for him. He's not coming to buy. He doesn't know how to tell you he cannot buy. Right. Knowledge boosts confidence. Thank you so much, Ma. Joel is asking for her name again. I'll just show you her comments. See her comments, right? Barrister Mrs. Uzamaka Ivy. You can just go and follow this her page. It's on Facebook. So just go to this her page and follow it. All right. She's one of the people. In fact, she's the main person that when I came to Abuja, she reset my mind about Abuja real estate market. And thankfully, after that class, there are many mistakes I would have made that I did not make again. Thank you so much, Ma. I am grateful. Thank you, ma'am. All right. So that's her name. All right. So any other question? My question is being consistent has to be every day? What about the days you don't feel like showing up? Beautiful. I like this question. What is the best? What about the days you don't feel like showing up? What about the days you don't feel like showing up? What is the best way to stay consistent, even when the deals are not coming forth? So on day four, I'll touch, on day three, rather, I'll touch on consistency. Okay. How to stay consistent, how to build a system around your business. In my book as well, I dedicated the last 2 chapters to consistency, how to build a system around it. Just like you, personally too, there are days that I don't feel like showing up, right? But it does not mean that money will enter your pocket. See, money and sales does not respect that your emotions, like you don't feel like it. So you must be able to build a system around it. There are days that I don't feel like showing up, and sincerely, I really do not have to show up, but my content will show up. Today, I have done 2 lives already, 2 live content. I have posted on my channels, and I'm still here doing live with you. All right. It doesn't mean that I felt like it, but I already have a system. I know what I'm going to post next week, Friday, on my platforms. What am I saying? I know what I'm going to post in 30 days from now, right? Because I have a system. And I'm going to be sharing that on day 3 in our bootcamp. And of course, in my book as well. I think the last 2 chapters, I went deep down to talk about how to build a system around your business. Okay. I hope I was able to answer your question, Chidima Okonkwo. What is the name of Barrister? Okay, I just showed you her name. Barrister Ivy is her name. Yes. Raw. Okay. Another question is there any book that talked on some rejections a salesperson gets and how to handle them? That's how to handle objections. Yes, a couple of them. Maybe we'll discuss this. We'll discuss a few of them on day 3 as well. All right. So with this, we've come to the end of today. Thank you so much for staying this far. This is over 1 hour. I hope I earned the value of your time. If I earned the value of your time, please type value in the comment section. Tomorrow again, we'll see same time. Tomorrow, we're going to now talk about the visibility system. What are the things you need to do daily to become visible? We'll discuss that tomorrow. 8 p.m., same channel, same station. If you've not joined the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group. Send a message to this number. Send a message to this number. If you have any question around the book, the visibility book, and the toolkits, you can send a message to this number, and we'll be able to assist you. And if you want to also join the WhatsApp group where we share the link every day for this bootcamp, you can also send a WhatsApp message to that number, and we will, fix you up on that too. All right. So if you got value, please type value in the comment section. If I end your 1 hour this evening, please type it. Let me know in the comment section as well. Thank you so much. Value. Thank you so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you for staying up to this point. Like, come your way again tomorrow. Stay visible, stay valuable, and make a lot of sales. Bye for now.